Welcome to episode 348. I am your host, Al Martinez, also known as Alpha Mike. Today's episode, Wait, the stock. Is the gun market headed towards Wall Street? Or is this all just a big fantasy? That and much more. So, what do you think? You know, if you would have told me 20 years ago that you could have a company that sold guns on the internet and they're trading in the stock market, and I would tell you, well, that's a possibility. Could have happened. But if you would have told me a year ago this, I would have said, you're crazy. You're going to get canceled. They're never going to find your body. But now, the Amazon of guns may be a possibility. We'll talk about that and some other things. If you are looking for gun training in the Tampa Bay area, look no further. It's as easily as going to RaiderCopTac.com, RaiderCopTac.com. There you can contact us if you want to do basic instruction, intermediate or advanced, whether it's pistol, revolver, shotgun, rifle, carbine, whatever you want to be trained in. We can give you a lot of help and a lot of advice on accomplishing that task. Again, it's RaiderCopTac.com, RaiderCopTac.com. You can also give us a buzz at 813-942-7400, or you can send us an email at RaiderCopPodcast, all one word, lowercase, at Proton, PROTON.me. So, you know, we've talked about several times having the ability to talk about what is happening in the media world, and we can all elaborate on it and talk about it, but we said we're not going to do that anymore because this is just repeating the same thing over and over. So in keeping with that, I'm going to kind of stay away from what you've probably heard 1,000 times on the media and continue moving forward. In lieu of talking about in the intro, the news, we're going to focus on the word. And specifically, I wanted to do this a little bit more on themes, like a theme about faith, a theme about hope, a theme about love, and things like that. So, I encourage you to turn your Bibles to Hebrews chapter 11. And when you turn to it, this is the portion of Scripture that is faith and faith by action. Now, when in chapter 11, verse 1, I read this not too long ago, maybe about 2 or 3 episodes ago, but I just want to touch it over again, and then we'll lead into the first study of faith that we're going to talk about. Hebrews chapter 11 Chapter 1. Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurances about what we do not see. This is what the ancients were commanded for. By faith, we understand that the universe was formed at God's command, so that what is seen was not made out of what was visible. By faith, Abel brought God a better offering than Cain did. By faith, he was commanded as righteousness when God spoke well of his offerings. And by faith, Abel still speaks even though he is dead. We're going to keep on talking about this chapter 11 in the Hebrews of faith in our podcast. Faith is that ability to move mountains, and that you have the ability that you can look at that mountain and say for it to move. Now, is it a physical mountain? No. It's the mountain that is in your way to achieve the objective that you are trying to achieve. That mountain, you have the power to move it through faith. Faith is not just believing I'm going to get something. Faith is knowing you're going to get something. So we're going to jump into that in the next probably 3 or 4 episodes. Hebrews 11, and we're going to talk more and more about faith. But today we're talking about Grab a Gun. That's the name of the company. They're focused on becoming, let's say, the Amazon of guns. Could it happen? Is it possible? You know, as I told you in the beginning, as we started this segment, if you would have asked me 15, 20 years ago, I said, yeah, it could be. You never know. Because we weren't so uptight about guns as we are today. If you would have asked me a year ago, as I said, I would not have believed this is possible. But it's right there. So, let's all jump on the short bus as we take a trip into episode 346, PEW, the stock. Let's hit it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the main event.
Episode 348, PEW, the stock. We are going to jump in and we're going to talk about the possibility of the new up-and-coming Grab a Gun store that may, in the future, resemble Amazon and, as well, be on the stock market. Just recently, not more than a month ago or so, we had some pretty good headlines about this company called Grab a Gun. The company, which has been around for a little while, is a gun store, or that they sell guns online, and they do a pretty good, decent amount of sales. Probably there's some other companies out there that just might do a little bit more sales than they do, but nevertheless, they do a pretty good job. Grab a Gun recently wanted to dive in and the possibility of expanding. That's what we'll call it. And as a result, they have partnered or merged with another company. We'll explain that too. The purpose of merging with this other company was money, no doubt. Grab a Gun, if you go to their website, and it's pretty good, it's just like that, grabagun.com. They've got a lot of stuff that they're offering. It is definitely, there's a couple things you need to know about me. I'd never seen a gun I didn't like, and I'd never seen a gun store I didn't like either. So, Grab a Gun is definitely on the list of giving it a good look. I encourage you to take a look at it. Now, I've probably seen this website a while back and haven't, really navigated through it in a long, long time, but I know it's been upgraded. It looks different from what I remember it to be. As a result, Grab a Gun, I kind of dwelled in and I said to myself, well, who runs Grab a Gun? And if you go to their website and you put down About Us, well, I think they can do a little bit better job of that. But they talk about the Second Amendment is in our blood. We discovered a gap. And they're telling you about their mission, their objectives, what they're trying to get accomplished. But you really don't have meats and potatoes of who's who. And that's okay. I understand how the politics of things work sometimes. But I'm here to tell you who they are. The company operates out of Texas as Metroplex Trading Company, LLC. Based in Copeland, Texas, they go by the name of Grab a Gun when they do business online. On July 15th of this year, 2025, shareholders of Grab a Gun or Metroplex Trading Company will vote whether they want to trade in the stock market. Now, they had to apply for a license with the U.S. Security and Exchange Commission, CEC, and there's a lot of money you've got to put on the table. I believe it's about $150 million. So in order to achieve this, they've partnered with a group or company called Clomber Acquisition Corp. Number 2. And they trade currently on the stock market as CLBR. Mostly, my opinion, in looking at that website and their background, more like capital investors. They acquire or do acquisitions of companies, and especially those that want to expand and possibly go into the stock market. As a result, they have partnered with Metroplex Trading, which is also known as Grab a Gun. But they didn't stop there. They also went a little bit higher. And we're happy they did. They, on their board of directors, as they started to merge both companies and making it bigger and bigger, and the goal of trading and selling guns on the internet became more prevalent, they've partnered with John Jr., better known as Donald Trump Jr. And he is on their board of advisories, and he's there to give them the best advice he can. And I wouldn't doubt there's a little bit of influence, and just a tiny bit, It's who you know. Might make a phone call, make things easier. I don't know. I'm only speculating. But regardless of the fact, they have merged together. Their objective is clear. They want to do the Amazon of guns. That's a big ticket item. Can they do it?
This is a Brooklyn-bound 2 express train.
Might be difficult.
The next stop is Fulton Street.
Stand clear of
But
the closing
you-
doors, please.
And I should have the ability to get on the train that we want to and the course we set for ourselves. I believe that they have a good chance, a good shot at this. But I also believe in my mind that in the future, this is going to be challenged by our friends on the left. Just because. As they roll towards the 15th of July, the shareholders of Grab a Gun will most likely vote for going to the stock market and trading in shares. Their business will expand. Their hopes and aspirations that Grab a Gun will turn into something similar to Amazon. Now, we still have to go through licensed FFL dealers in order to purchase these guns online. When we look at Bull Armory, they've cut the middleman out now. You buy a gun at Bull Armory, you're buying directly from them. They will ship the gun that you brought online to the FFL dealer that you stipulated, and you'll have your gun. A lot of manufacturers starting to like this. And a one place that you can shop, one-stop place, might be the answer. Grab a Gun. They sell firearms, ammunition, magazines, and I'm not talking about car and driver, optics, gun parts, knives, tools, gear. If you're looking for a fancy outfit, 511s and all that other stuff, and tactical gear, they sell that too. And they even have, that I saw on their page, ready? Shotguns under $300. Immediately, I fell in love. I said, this is my kind of store. There's a lot of places that you might frequent to buy a gun. Most people go to their neighborhood mom and pop store like kind of gun dealer. They've done business with them for many, many years, and it works. But problem is, just like Amazon killed all the mom and pop stores, Grab a Gun might be doing the same thing in the future. We're not sure, we don't know, and we're not going to speculate or guess. We're going to hope for the best that they can move forward. Keep your eye on them, because if we do have the ability to buy guns online, even though you and I still have to go to an FFL dealer, but if it's more stock, easily accessible for you and for me to purchase a gun that you want, because you are part of the militia of the United States, carrying a firearm proudly as an honorable citizen of these United States, you should have that ability. I'm excited, and I'm hoping it goes through. I would also keep my eye on that stock. Now, I'm not giving any advice on the stock market, because I don't do stock market. I do guns. The sale, not the sale of guns, but the training of guns. But because it's something that I like, I may invest in it myself. We're definitely going to look at this more closely in other shows. Keep your eye on it. The stock code, I believe that they're trying to, or they're going to use once July 15th and the shareholders vote to go forward, is going to be PEW. PEW. It's really easy to remember. And I think it's going to be a winner. Or, better said, I hope it's going to be a winner. I, like many of you, are sick and tired of losing. I want to start winning. I want to have my America, which is my America. The same one that they wrote down on a piece of paper calling it the Constitution. Freedom. First Amendment, Second Amendment, and so on. That's what I desire to live in, to be a part of, and to be happy. Up next for us on our next episode 349, we are moving with lightning. A lot of people say, well, when did you start this? Well, we started in 2017, and it used to be, the podcast used to have another name, and in 2018, we redesigned it and gave it a new name, Raider Cop Podcast, and here we are. And since 2017, here we are with episode 348. And 349, I will talk about, it will be one of those specialty podcast episodes that I do on faith, and it'll be called My Life. If I perish, I perish. And we're going to take a deep dive in that. The show will probably be episode 15 or 20 minutes of your time. But I encourage you to listen, to be a part of it, because, boy, the times are bad. Nothing is good out there. We live in very troubled times and very, very upsetting times. So we all need a little bit more of a relationship with God. So that's going to be July 9th, episode 349, My Life. If I perish, I perish. I encourage you to continue listening to the podcast. I know people's time is precious. We're trying to reduce some of the time that you spend while you listen to this podcast, but we hope that you listen to us, move our podcast forward by subscribing, listening to us on YouTube or wherever you get your podcast. But if you just write in, type in the browser, Raider Cop Podcast, we will pop up. If you're looking for a great gunsmith, I know what his name is. His name is Pistol Pete the Gunsmith. He's down in Miami. His show note, down in the bottom of the show notes, it explains how to get in contact with him. Remember, you can safely and legally send your gun down to Pete through an FFL. That's what he is too. You can send them from your FFL to Pete. And he will do any specifications of how you would like to have your gun looking fantastic, phenomenal, and brand new. Whether you want to color it, change the trigger, sights, optics, you name it, Pistol Pete, the gunsmith down in Miami. And also, don't forget, if you're in the Tampa Bay area, Central Florida, and you're looking for good gun training, RaiderCopTac.com. Down in South Florida, don't forget our good friend Amado, AAA Gunsafety.com. Gunsafety.com. In New Jersey, and you know that they are allowing people now to conceal weapon. They're radical, huh? They finally got there. Well, my friend Karis is one of the best instructors in all of New Jersey. Over 25 years of experience as an NRA, not only a firearms instructor, but a coach. Sepulveda Inc., SEPULVEDA. Look them up if you're in Jersey and you're looking for that concealed weapons permit class. Karis is the guy you need to see. Go to his website, Sepulveda, SEPULVEDA, Inc.com, and you'll get much more information on those upcoming classes, what you need to have, and how much it costs. As always, continue to pray for yourself, because without you, we have nothing. Continue to pray for your family, your community, the law enforcement agencies that serve you, and most importantly, continue to pray for the United States of America. This is Alpha Mike, and I'll see you downrange.
Just 1322.